Hello folks, I'm very happy to announce that Bloodlines 2 has received the Halloween update as of today, not only bringing additional content in terms of a range of different customization options, but also a long list of bug and performance fixes, so plenty for us to get through. As always, we're not wasting any time, but as a quick little side note folks, I just wanted to say I do have Games Planet to thank for my early access key to Bloodlines 2. There is a sponsored link in the description below for anyone who would like deals on a vast range of PC games, and any and all purchases made using the link do very much help out the channel, so just something for all you PC gamers to consider. And thank you very much to Games Planet for the early access key and sponsoring this channel. Now, just a few hours ago, we received this announcement on the official Bloodlines 2 Discord, and it goes as follows. Happy Halloween to all you vampires and ghouls out there. We are delighted to announce that we've got a free update for you today. It's a Halloween update that includes 24 new ways to customize your look, with 8 new hairstyles, 8 makeup styles, and 8 eye colors. Also, that you can celebrate the end of October in style. This spooky update comes alongside more quality of life improvements as we continue to consider the feedback you provide through various channels. We'll keep releasing regular updates and patches throughout 2025 and into 2026. In future updates, we're looking at including features such as the FOV slider, new save game options, custom difficulty settings that include the ability to play only Fire side of the story on your second playthrough, as well as additional customization options. If you are still experiencing bugs, please complete the bug report form. It helps us immensely to get an overview of what issues people are facing. We appreciate and encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts with us. For issues related to redeeming pre-order codes, blood points, or other platform-related problems, please contact Paradox Support. Note, the issue with pre-order codes should be solved now. It also includes a number of bug fixes. See the changelog on the website. Warning, might contain spoilers. And then if we follow this link through, we have this announcement here, which recaps what we just read. But right at the bottom, we have the full details for the Halloween update. And as mentioned just before, folks, do be warned, as there may be 1 or 2 spoilers throughout. But as for the notes themselves, for the fixed crashes we have, the game freezes whilst following the scent during the objective Follow Verona's Scent, title crash during the combat on top floor of South Main Street parking, title crash after killing enemies or Miranda near Aurora Pawn Shop during Onda's side quest in the pathway of Hesperides. Title crash after setting the quality preset to medium from ultra near the distraction tutorial. Title crash upon restarting the checkpoint whilst opening the rear entrance to the hole in the wall bar. A random game crash during the combat on the rooftop of the CO7 building while progressing through the Meet Kasumi at the hole in the wall objective. The game froze during the objective Track Down and Deal with Edward in the side quest of Nico, the Violent Glove. The game froze and terminated whilst climbing up the tower via roofs in the square room. Title crashed when progressing through to the founder of the Leffe and reached Plastic Factory. Game crash when the player was in combat during the final battle. Game crash on transition screen after the Prince of Seattle chapter in performance mod. Game crash / fails to boot when starting the game. Game freezes and crashes randomly after reloading from the last checkpoint and re-engaging in combat near the elevator door. Random game crash after restarting from last checkpoint after killing Alicia during Nico's side quest, the Betraying Bracelet. And then finally, game crash upon input at press any button screen when launched from Epic Launcher. Then after all of this, we have an even more extensive list of bug fixes, and this goes as follows. Player permanently lost to jump functionality when spamming jump key whilst feeding on the stealth tutorial ghoul. Objective and map marker fails to update after restarting from last checkpoint upon completing conversation with Gideon's glasses. Bypass first unbirthed combat encounter, breaking objective update flow. Player got stuck inside the broken elevator when attempting to climb the shaft during telekinesis tutorial. Scent, Trail, and Fabian's dialogue fails to trigger upon interacting with the dead ghoul behind Macon Bar. Dash tutorial failed to trigger when jumping into the strike from above sequence in the quest to taste a foreign body. Fabian's dialogue failed to trigger and toilet door failed to highlight after eliminating all Sabbat ghouls in Verona quest. Interaction prompt fail on the atrium entrance door after conversation with the bouncer if restarting from checkpoint at Ryong. Player is unable to interact with Lou's door after warning Verona and marking another NPC. Unable to get through crack in wall in the sewers. Clan-specific dialogue options missing in localizations. Melancholic NPCs fail to respond to aggressive dialogue prompts whilst wearing the priest outfit. The Macon Bar board is incorrectly placed on the emergency ladder of the Soulcraft building. Melancholic NPCs fail to respond to second and third dialogue prompts whilst Toreador outfits are equipped. Player loads into Willem's car park after loading a save of the quest titled In Memoriam on the main menu. Fire dialogue overlaps and subtitles disappear after skipping the dialogues during different conversations. Checkpoint to disable thermal barrier fails to update, and IAO enemies do not spawn at Harbour Island. Objective waypoint missing on the in-game HUD for all quest NPCs on the map when exiting the police station. Report to Officer Smith objective skips after collecting photo from Officer Jones. Gramophone music fails to trigger if the player restarts from the last checkpoint during the music puzzle sequence at Willem's Plastic Factory. Heightened Senses activates incorrectly after restarting from the last checkpoint, basement post-feed, during the To Taste a Foreign Body quest. Player fell out of the world near the first generator after defeating the enemy and sprinting towards the generator. The VFX of the Toreador clan passive, Cat's Grace, VFX remains active indefinitely when triggered during feeding with the Spark of Rage perk active. Nico fails to give the elixir reward if the player completes the side quest The Derelict Picture without breaking the Masquerade. Gideon flickers at the entry of Sophia during this conversation. Controller vibration intensity remains the same even when switching to 50% intensity. And then finally, we have missing VO for clan-specific dialogues. And then at the very bottom of this update, folks, we have a couple of achievement fixes, and they are: the History Buff trophy unlocks correctly if the player interacts with all audio exhibits without listening to the dialogues at the Seattle Underground Tour. And then the What's Up achievement count does not update after feeding on Choleric NPC. So there we have it in full, albeit not much in regards to new customization, but still more than most of us likely anticipated for Halloween. And honestly, I think it's nice that we received anything at all. The extensive list of fixes and improvements, however, is definitely what we like to see, as well as the official statement from the devs saying they will continue to release updates throughout 2025 and into 2026. We know that come mid to late 2026, we have 2 story DLCs set to release, so it's nice to know that between now and then, we can expect plenty of updates, and maybe even a handful of further updates, improving customization and other gameplay aspects. In terms of what we can expect for the next update, who knows at this point? The devs have stated they are working on the FOV slider, custom difficulty settings and more, but with no pattern of updates to go off yet, so your guess would be as good as mine. What is nice, however, is the devs have had some relatively clear communications between release and now, and if they continue with this same approach moving forward, then it should be very easy for us all to stay up to date. What I basically mean is, instead of just dropping an update unannounced and leaving it until the very last second before any of us actually know, the Chinese Room devs have instead opted for making announcements, previewing info and slightly touching on what is on the way, which is vastly better for all of us gamers, and myself especially, as it helps me prepare better for these videos. Based on this, I would assume we'll be hearing plenty more along the way, and of course, as and when these announcements are worth reporting on, I absolutely will be doing so. Anyway, that would be it for this one, folks. I'll be back over the coming days with plenty more, and I do of course have a range of guide and news videos on the channel already, so do feel free to stop on by and check things out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, folks, and until next time, peace.